But what most guys do, in order to achieve polarity, to achieve that draw, is they do two things. There's two button push gimmicks that we know through this community that are well known. And they're good. And I'm not saying not to do them. I'm just saying that it cannot be the basis of what you're about. They're very good. I think highly of them. I like them. But they're not the basis of what you're about. The first one is entertainment. If you can entertain the girl by talking about topics she likes about, she will feel drawn towards you, right? Because look, if someone's talking about something you love to hear about, you're drawn towards them. The other one, and this brings us back to the bizarre, weird story that I started the day with today. Do you remember the story of the girls from San Diego? They meet the heroin dealer. They go home with them. Why? What made three nice, young, attractive girls go home with the three scummiest guys in Los Angeles?
Need to validate themselves.
Exactly. You have a reality of who you are, and you want that reality validated at all times. Remember we talked earlier about what a hot girl's reality is? Do you remember what it was?
Everybody validates you constantly.
Everyone validates me. Let's just go right back up to the list. What is a hot girl's reality? First, I'm a hot girl. You're the next guy of the night who puts me on a pedestal. You need my validation and sex and approval. I'm too hard to get. Feel free to entertain me if you like. When I say, you know what, this is bratty behavior, because that was what they did was truly bratty behavior. You don't hook up with my friend and then try to hook up with me. Come on, right? Do you know? Okay, what happens to a friendship when you do something like that? They're going to disrupt the entire fabric of all my friendships if she's going to do that. That's insane, right? Totally unacceptable. So she's out of there. Now the thing is like, we bring her downstairs. These are cute girls. They're not used to being just kicked out. Because I said you're all out of here. The whole lot of them are out of there. All right? Like, the other two were in the bedrooms with my other two friends. I'm like, knock on the door. You're gone. All right? Why is that? That's called living in abundance. How many girls are downstairs at the restaurant? You just go get some more. We're living in abundance here. There's no way that kind of nonsense can be going on in any house of mine. Now look, their reality, I'm a hot girl, just got violated. So what do? They're going to find some other guy. Remember how I talked about how when you don't study self-development, even when you're normally really confident, when things don't go your way, you just react? This is what girls do. When you say to a girl something like, you and I would not get along, which I think is a great line, I love the line to death, what's going to happen? What's her response?
Oh, we would.
Oh, we would get along, right? It would be so great. She might start touching. Do you guys know the trick of how to get a quick makeout? Like, does everyone here know how to get a makeout within like 30 seconds?
No.
It is so easy, it's not even funny. I could teach the scrubbiest guy in the world how to get a makeout within 30 seconds. It's real simple. You just walk up really high energy, like really fun, really high energy, and you just say some entertaining stuff and just keep pushing her away. Push her away, both verbally or even physically. Go, 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 like that. Like almost like this. Like go in, start joking around. Go, you're crazy. You're crazy. Look, uncross your arms. Woman, how am I even talking to you right now? How am I? Here, go. God, what am I going to do with you? Here, come here. Whoa. All right? Okay? Really, it's so simple. Oh, thank you. All right? Okay? Really, really simple stuff. Now the thing, or one I love is, what did you do before you met me? What did you do before you met me? Right? I love that one. Okay? Because essentially you're like taking the reality fast, right? Like I must listen to him. So the thing is, just teasing, right? So you can get that makeout. We call that, again, the two types of button pushes that we usually learn are entertainment and pushing away, right? We call that disrupting her reality. Disrupting the girl's reality so that she wants to reassert her reality by getting you to respond the way she wants. That's remember I was talking to you guys about the kind of pitfalls of becoming a guru or an expert at something? You can actually talk to a lot of gurus who, they're used to having authority, right? And if you're just totally nonchalant, and they'll be like, oh, I'm not going to teach you all my secrets. But if you talk to them and you're all nonchalant, they're like, do you know this thing? Do you know about that? Come on, you know. And then, by the way, what happens when they start telling you the stuff and then you don't react?
They tell you more.
They're going down like this, right? It's almost like a tailspin of qualifying yourselves. Because what happens is it's like they're continuing to bet double or nothing over and over, trying to get that validation. And they don't know they're doing it, right? So isn't it funny that like the most popular, like knowledgeable people, including like a beautiful girl, right? Like a gorgeous girl who normally is like, you can't get with me, I'm too hot. But then even the scrubbiest guy, when he just disrupts her reality, she'll make out with him now. She'll make out with a perfect stranger within 30 seconds. So, okay, these are great tricks. I mean, they're cool. They're really cool. It's fun to be able to do that. It's a fun little skill to have. What I just did there, you guys can go out and try that tonight, and it's a fun little thing. It's fun, right? And when you learn it, you feel great. When you do that, when you get your first, like, make out with a girl that you just met, it's amazing, right? Sometimes, over time, you even make out with girls you haven't even spoken a word to. That's when you're really in the zone, right? Like you're so in the zone, and then you just like sort of like see a girl as you walk by, and you just like go in, and just like you just start making out. You're like, oh man, right?
Or when they just grab you randomly.
Sure, yeah.
You've
had that?
They're just like,
yeah. Yeah. When I've really had it, I even had this happen to me once. I was talking to a girl, and I see out of my peripheral vision this like grumpy looking girl come over, right? She's like, ugh. And she goes, get out of here, and shoves the girl off, right? I thought it was the friend pulling the cock block move, and then she's like, so what's your name? Like immediately, I was blown away, right? I'm not going to say, she wasn't like the hottest girl in the club or anything, but I was blown away. I couldn't believe it, right? And that was sort of like when I was first discovering what it means to act through your own intentions. Now, the button push. Great stuff. You learn it, and it's a thrill. But here's where the pitfall is. It's brutal. When you learn how to do this, you feel like you're this attractive guy. Because you say to yourself, how many of my friends could get a make out with a girl within 30 seconds? How many of my friends could do that? None. Right? They can't do it. How many of my friends can just walk up to any girl and make her laugh at his jokes? None. And now all of a sudden, your buddies think you're a huge pimp. And everyone thinks you're a huge pimp. And girls are responding to you like you're a huge pimp. But what happens at nighttime? Are you warmly snuggled with some girl you like?
No.
Or do you have your laptop out and a bottle of Vaseline on the nightstand? Right? Okay. So what's the deal? Right?
Worse than that. When you can't keep it up forever. Like even if you get a lay off of 8 hours of whatever, right? Then she's like, oh, he thinks he's lower value than you.
Oh yeah, the relationship can go down. And I blew many relationships like that. Because again, I had that belief that man was here, woman was here, and I had to keep qualifying myself. Now, I guess you could say that even like when you hold the girl's attention and you try to disrupt her reality, right? It's a good way to hook initial attention, but what tends to happen is once you revalidate her, what happens?
She's back in her reality.
Have any of you guys ever like pushed a girl away hard, got the make out, and then after you make out, she just leaves? Gone. Yeah. And that blows you away, right? You're like, how could this be happening? Okay. I remember when I was really learning how to play hard to get, I started to see the potential of it. I really liked a hard-to-get frame. So I did that. And I would get these really incredible results in the field, but it wasn't translating into the close. All right? The word close sucks so much. I've just been watching Entourage, and they call it the close on Entourage. I love that show. Because, I mean, the word close kind of implies like you're a salesman trying to close, like you're wanting something. But you know what I'm saying, okay? Okay? Going to the full deal, all right? Because what happens is, when you're playing hard to get, it's really hard to maintain that. I mean, if you want to do the hard to get style, you can do it. But essentially what you have to do is it has to be hard to get from the start all the way to the end. Like, get out of here. You know what? I'm not going anywhere with you right now. Yes, you are. The girl's like, yes, you are. I'm like, no, I'm not going with you. She's like, yes, you are. I'm like, get out. Go away, right? And she's like, no, and she'll drag you, right? And then even when you get back to the house, it's like, nothing is happening tonight. It's not happening. Okay, maybe I'll kiss you. You are not taking those off. Don't do it. Don't take it off. And then she'll start peeling the clothes off, and she, and goes like that, right? And you can make that happen, but that is the fucking high wire act of the decade. It really is, okay? I've made it work, because I went out 1,000 nights in a row. So, you can make it work, but you are playing a tightrope act. And I used to feel like, it's like this is how I used to feel. And it really affected my self-esteem. I felt like if I made one little mistake, the girl would just leave. I'm like, why is it that when I make one little mistake, like I just say one stupid thing, and the same girl that used to like me doesn't like me anymore. And it almost made me, like, angry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so fucking shallow. It's such bullshit, and it made me angry. Nah, man, it wasn't the girl's fault. It was me. I was causing that. Because I didn't know what real masculine polarity was. I certainly didn't have it. And so I was relying on button push after button push. Okay? Give a little entertainment. Push them away. To keep that draw. You know how when we say polarity, we mean like a draw? So it doesn't last. That's the issue. And so your close rate goes down. So why do we teach all this silly, esoteric, feel the inner body and dilate the perception, this silly, esoteric stuff that seems so unrelated? Why do we teach that?
Because it's not rooted in external validation.
Yes, because it sticks. All right? It sticks. And isn't it wonderful? Right? That same polarity that normally is like a spike, like you're spiking keep spiking it to keep it drawing towards you, rather than being like, the roaring brush fire, it's like that searing hot coal and just sits there. Almost like a searing hot, like, how like a searing hot coal just kind of sits there like that, right? Just sitting there like the ember, right? You just can kind of sit there. Right? You can just talk. And you know what? You can do all those little rules that you had before, like don't ask rapport-seeking questions? Like don't seek rapport too early. I used to teach that. Don't seek rapport too early. Well, when you have that polarity, a different set of rules applies to you. Because a lot of those old constraints that you used to have in your interactions with women, like you have this rule, you can't break this rule, you can't break that rule, a lot of those begin to evolve. And you can break the rules, and you still, quote-unquote, get away with it. All right? So a lot of those rules, like, for example, don't be too generic. You might be, remember how we talked about surface and then depth? On the surface, what you may be doing, it may be generic. Or not. You can take really strong masculine polarity and be totally off the wall. But let's say that it is generic. Well, the surface layer of the conversation might be generic, but the depth that's going on there is totally, totally different. And that's why guys will say, well, whenever I go up and I introduce myself, I just get blown off. Well, there's no depth in you, man. There's no depth there, all right? So that's why the blow-off is occurring. Don't get hard on yourselves if that's happening, but generally that's why. You want to know another reason why sometimes you get blown off? Because the girl's a dummy, all right? Or because she's busy. So don't take responsibility for getting blown off on all counts.